Hi, and welcome to the 36th podcast here at Cashmere Goat in Camden, Maine. I am Iris, and today I am joined by a special guest. This is Myranda.
Hi.
She's one of our amazing part of this goat team. She does a lot here, and we're going to hear a little bit about that today. But Myranda is our color work teacher. Yes. Yeah. And we're going to have a topic of color work because we've just kicked off and are about to have our virtual kickoff for the knit along, which is a color work sweater this January and February. So we're going to talk color work today a little bit. But first, Myranda, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a colorwork sweater. Oh, and this is Ilya by Caitlin Hunter, and I used Cumbria, which is really nice. It's kind of pilly, but it's gotten better. It blew its coat.
It blew its coat!
And now it's not as pilly anymore.
Can we see the color work detail on the sleeve? Oh
yeah, see, you can see there.
A little pilling, yeah.
Oh, but not as bad.
No. And I love the deep funnel neck, beautiful, beautiful neckline. Oh.
Yeah, I like it too. It's one of my favorite sweaters. Super warm, and I love these colors.
So good. And since we're having a major cold snap right now in Maine, I mean, I don't know, it's like maybe 15 degrees out there right now.
Very cold.
It's a great time for knits.
It is.
Layers
upon layers.
Upon layers. I'm wearing my Irish Rover pullover by Teddy Litzak. And if you watch the podcast, you've seen this sweater come off the needles. It's still one of my favorites. We're sitting here, right, kind of looking over at the Millstone Tweed by Berroco, which this is made out of. It's
so dreamy.
Really soft. And you can see a little detail on the cuff, but it's just this really nice textured on the front and the back. And it was just a pleasant knit. There was a good rhythm to those textures. Also wearing this beautiful colorwork hat, not knit by me, knit by my knitting husband, who's undaunted by tiny needles and colorwork. Great. One time when he was knitting this for me, it was like probably 200 stitches, and at the same time I was knitting him a sweater, which was also 200 stitches, but it was worsted weight. But he did such a good job, and I'm gonna see, we were talking about our hair being kind of flattish. We're both sort of curly-headed people, but without any moisture.
Yeah, the air is dry.
This is what happens.
The hair falls.
Comes down. So look at all of Jake's beautiful floats. They're just so nice.
They're so nice.
I've never knit a colorwork sweater before, so the Dog Star is actually my first. I've done hats, but Dog Star is my first colorwork sweater too.
Yay! Yay!
Which leads us to what we're knitting, which is, spoiler, Dog Star. Dog Stars by Tin Can Knits. We love their patterns. They have lots of
super nice app.
The app.
Very handy. Very user-friendly. What are they because most of their patterns have like 16 sizes.
The Dog Star is 29.
Wow. Wow. So in the app, you can just punch in your information of the size you're going to use, and it will tell you the instructions for just that size.
So no highlighting through a million different parentheses.
Yeah.
I did hear something from one of our knitters who said, and she just wanted me to be aware of it. So if you choose a size and you start a project in the Tin Can Knits app, you can't change it. You can't change your size within that project once you've cast on for it. So
then you have to
go back out and start
make a new one.
But we love the app, and what's also nice about it is all of their Tin Can Knits, not all of them maybe, but the app comes with some of the free patterns that they offer. And then if you purchase a pattern, there's a way to get it in the app as well. You can, as you're going through a project, there's tutorials. They have such great resources. So we really highly recommend it. It's very nice. And oh, Myranda, let's see what you've got.
Oh, this is, I cast on my sleeve.
Hold it up.
Really close. Yeah, I picked 3 colors. This is Vintage Decay by Berroco, and that kind of burgundy color is Blackcurrant. The kind of beige is Oats, and the green in there is Fennel. I think it's Fennel. And I decided to do lice stitch or add the lice stitch because I really love this kind of maroon and burgundy, but it was a little dark. And
so beautiful.
I just thought I've always wanted a lice stitch sweater. Very classic.
So will you do it on the body or yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it all over. So I need more of the Oats.
It's been amazing to see, like we had our in-store kickoff for the knit along on Sunday, and a lot of people chose multicolors. So the sweater is written for 2 colors, but if you go on Ravelry, there's so many options to see, and lots of people choosing multiple colors. And so some of our knitters who were in the store were playing with colors, swatching with different colors, just playing with ideas, and so inspiring to see. So mine is this is Kathmandu DK by Queensland, and I chose, I know it's squishy, it's a little bit textural because it's somewhat thick and thin, a woolen spun, and it's lovely. And I did the sleeves also. There's an option to do the color work at the base of the sweater too, but I can't remember if I showed it on the podcast or not, but I did a provisional cast on. So my sweater stops here, and oh yeah, I talked about this in the last podcast, now I remember. But it was because I wanted to hurry up and get to the color work so that it could be on display here in the shop. And I just yesterday removed my provisional cast on and picked up my stitches, and it was the long tail provisional cast on, which I love now.
I haven't done that one.
Oh my god, it's so freaking easy. So I'm making a new video. I did a little recording of like, okay, now I'm picking up the stitches from the provisional, so I'm editing that. But yeah, so now I'm like knitting back down the other direction towards the hem of my sweater, and so it's just a lot of easy peasy stockinette in front of me.
Right? And you went bottom up from the middle, and now you're going down from the middle. So
right.
It's like, it's not a bottom up or top down, it's a
hybrid.
Yeah.
And okay, who is Jen Steingass? I knit a Jen Steingass sweater where she has one that does that, and that was the one that I knit, and I was like, why am I doing this? This is nuts. But then I was like, oh, I've done this before. It's totally doable. And for some folks with a bottom-up sweater, they're a little nervous about getting that length right. And so anyway, I'm excited, and it actually works out really well for me to have boring stockinette to knit, because then during our meetups, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm not counting. I can pick this up and put it down.
You don't have to look at a chart. You can just
onward and downward.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to cue up Myranda, because Myranda's done such beautiful color work, and you've done such a good job with our color work class.
Oh,
tell us a little bit about the color work class you teach.
Well, it's a 2-hour-long class. It's kind of a one-off to get people started and more comfortable with color work. We cover technique and how to tension and carry your floats, how to maintain color dominance, and just really work on that muscle memory of wrapping and carrying and not puckering and that sort of thing.
So the color work class is based on that Pacific Knit company, Jamie Lomax. She's come up with all of the doodle decks and everything, and so you do the cup cozy.
Yes, we do the cup cozy. It's just a little project that just for practice, just to get people started and more feeling more comfortable.
And I love that it was like low stakes. It was just like a little bit of knitting.
Yeah.
And if you didn't see already, I'll try to remember to link it below. Miranda did a great blog post leading up to the holidays about how a cup cozy is a great gift.
Quick last minute
and
gift.
Thoughtful with like, and you had the idea for like perfect teacher gift.
Yeah.
Little mug,
yeah.
little cozy,
Yeah,
some hot cocoa mix.
Yes.
And the recipe, she gave the recipe too.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's easy. We had the kids made the mix and I made the cozy. So it's like something everybody can get involved in. So it's kind of a simple little but kind and thoughtful gift to give to somebody who's important.
And I took the colorwork class because I knew this was going to be our knit along, and it had been a really long time since I'd done colorwork. And I had my first cup cozy, which I was a little tight with my floats, so it came out a little bit more like a wrist warmer.
We need those. Everybody can use a wrist warmer.
But then I took the class, and the next one, clearly my learning was demonstrated in my growth, and I remembered some good tips that I had forgotten, and Miranda introduced some new tips. And one of the amazing things is you created like the world's most beautiful help document, like your intro. It was great. It's great.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I tried to put as much information as I could fit, or that seemed important for beginners.
And so nice because you walk away from the class with, you've got a handout to refer back to and
a little bit of practice.
Yeah. So you can apply it. And for the knit along, folks who've signed up for the knit along get a copy of that beautiful document as well.
Oh,
when they sign up.
Yes. For everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things we were thinking about and that came up in our first knit along kickoff on the weekend was thinking about color dominance. And that's something that gets thrown around a lot when you're hearing about and learning about color work.
Mm-hmm.
And
much debated.
So tell us about the debate. What is the debate?
The debate is
hot debates in the knitting world on color dominance.
Hot take: color dominance is real. It's a real thing, and I think that even some detractors, have switched sides recently.
Some big name podcasters in the knitting world,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So color dominance is what happens. It's kind of a natural consequence of how you carry your floats on the backside of your work.
And floats are simply just
these.
Yep.
The unused yarn that you carry along the back.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depending on how you carry them and which color lays on top. So here you can see the blue floats are above the gray floats.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, so the gray floats are coming under. So on this side, the gray is the more dominant color. And then this is higher contrast, so you kind of can't, it almost like evens out. I kind of like the gray being dominant better than I do the blue. Down here you can see the blue is more dominant. The stitches are slightly larger than the gray, so they pop out a little more, and that's because you use more yarn on the back side. The floats are a little bit longer, and that makes the stitches just a little bit bigger on the front.
So like when I was new to colorwork, it was way before I had learned. I mostly am a thrower with my right hand, and eventually I learned how to, hold yarn in my left hand. I would not say I have equal ability with both hands, but I'm still at a point where I'm fairly comfortable with colorwork in two hands. So one strand of yarn in my right and one in my left. But for my first colorwork hats, I was just like, I'd have my two balls of yarn over here, and I don't even know, it was before YouTube. So how did I even learn about color? I don't know, book probably. But I would take my contrast color and I would take the ball and toss it over.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of my row, everything was really squirrely with my balls, and I'd have to
nice like braid.
come over here and unwind all the 2 colors. But I was literally just like, here's my second color I'm carrying, and I'm tossing it over my working yarn. That, as simple as that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's basically what you're doing.
Made some hats that way.
Yeah, there are like some more efficient ways to
as
do
opposed
it.
to chucking it.
Yeah. But I mean, it worked.
It worked.
So, yeah.
I have an example, and this was an on-purpose dominance thing that I did with my sweater because I wanted to be able to have that conversation with people. So in these 2 cuffs, with this one, if you notice this center little white stitch, it's a little bit like that white is receding in the green. It's kind of coming back. And this particular row of the pattern is one where you're basically knitting 3 stitches of, you know, this green in my case, and only 1 stitch of the white, which is my main color. So compare that to this one where I actually switched my color dominance so that my little center stitches would puff up a little bit more. And usually we are trying to be consistent, right?
Right,
With
it's something you want to generally be consistent with.
And so in my case, I'm mostly holding, like, my main color is my right hand, and my contrast color is my left hand, or contrast color could be the one I was chucking over the white if it was the old days. And so that means that my green is my dominant.
Yes.
But on that one row on my second sleeve where I was like, I want to have it be the other way because I can, you know, I want to see that difference. I swapped hands. So if you think about it, like in that row, the green is actually dominant, green is the main color in that row where it's 3 and 1. Green is 3, 1. So green went to my right hand and white went to my left, so that white would puff forward.
Right, yeah. And so and that's a great way to apply it, just something to be aware of, and you can kind of play with it. So yeah, generally you want consistency. You don't want to switch your color dominance in the middle of a chart in blocks because that can look not great. It can be really obvious, but for things like that, it's a great tool to apply.
And yeah, kind of I had to really make my brain think about it, like, okay, actually, hold on, this round is a switch. Anyway, do I have 2 beautiful sleeves? And nobody's ever gonna notice this whole color dominance thing except for all of you right now, but when I wear this sweater, you know the secret. So that is one thing we've been thinking about. But you know, the really fun part about our meetup was, like, there were so many experienced people with color work who were just diving in, and there were also some new people. This was going to be their first time, and it was really cool to see everybody around the tables.
Yeah. Color work is so fun and so pretty, and I'm really excited that people are diving in the way they are and seem really excited about it.
There's something addictive about it.
Yes.
Like, ooh, one more row, and I'm gonna be seeing this beautiful little, you know, from the chart to my knitting.
Right. Yeah,
forward.
Right. The birth of a sweater. So, yeah.
Let's talk about SOS.
Oh, SOS. SOS would be you know, if you're a local goat, SOS is a 1-hour semi-private lesson that we're doing on Thursday afternoons from 3:30 to 4:30. Just as a sort of maybe emergency sort of help. Well, it's SOS, so yeah. You can sign up to the day before, and if you find yourself getting stuck, then you can sign up. It's I think $25 for the hour. It's limited to 4 people, so it is not quite one-on-one, but it is a lesson in an area where you need help.
Which we wanted to sort of change the model, especially now, to try to do it as a like you could do a weekly by the week.
Right.
As you said, still need to pre-register, but especially maybe if you're new to color work and you just want to have this wonderful expert lady teacher looking over your shoulder, giving you some tips, it could be a really nice support. But, you know, with last month, you had all types of folks working on all types of projects.
All types of Christmas presents.
Yeah,
it was, it was fun.
And one of our dear local goats, she'd set a project down for a while. She was picking it back up. She, you know, just needed that reorientation. So it doesn't have to be just for color work. You can sign up and come if you know, sometimes you're experienced in one part of knitting, but you're trying a new technique and a pattern.
Yeah, it's a great way to get just a little extra support in a safe place.
Safe place, yes. Yeah, so that's also super fun. Oh, I know what we need to talk about. We're going to be closed for cleaning and organizing the store.
Yay.
So it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, which is January 13th through 15th. Yes. What we get up to when we close the store for cleaning, and midwinter is so good because after the holidays, we've been so busy. We pull all of the shelves that are up against the wall, we pull them away, get back there with the vacuum, we're dusting all the surfaces. And you wouldn't believe how dusty it gets. I mean,
well, you might,
but
there's a lot of fiber in here.
So much fiber and fluff and fuzz happening.
Yes, they're dust bunnies.
I mean, I'm looking at this table right in front of me right now, and there's fibers.
There's fiber. Surprise.
And we might be building some new shelving.
Yes. Yeah. So after when we reopen after that, keep your eyes on the Noro. The Noro.
And we usually find a few yarns that maybe we're ready to pop in the clearance. Maybe we don't have that much of it, or we're not able to get more of it or whatever. So you'll have to keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, so that, and of course we'll still be shipping orders. So
and local pickup
is fine. Just like knock real loud on the door if you're coming for a pickup so we can hear you.
Over our audiobooks.
Or vacuums or whatever we're doing. So that's good. That's coming up. We're having the Zoom knit along kickoff tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Exciting. We've had so many people I've had a lot of emails coming in and out, somebody thinking about gauge swatching, and this was her first gauge swatch because mostly she's she's never knit a sweater before. Yeah, she's done hats and stuff, accessories, so bringing everybody along. Let's see. Getting a lot of great new stuff, of course, as always. And if you're a newsletter subscriber, you get to hear all about it.
Yay!
So yeah, you can subscribe to the newsletter at our website, and you can still sign up for the knit along. So our winter knit along runs January, February. This is nice because it gives folks a chance to, sometimes people are going to knit 2 of our projects because they're raring to go. And sometimes people take way longer than 2 months because we all have different lives. So Life happens, and we all have different amount of time that we can knit too. Yeah. So I'm going to put the sign up link down below to the knit along if you'd like to join us. I've almost 180 people from all over the place who have signed up, and
incredible.
It's awesome.
Is that our biggest?
I think it might be close to our biggest, so we'll have to keep our eyes on the numbers. But so, and when you sign up, you get special emails from, special weekly emails separate from our just regular Goat emails with some tips and tricks, resources like the color work. We always put in little video links if there's new tutorials, and you get a discount on yarn for the project. And that discount is good for the full 2 months, which is awesome as well.
Right.
So, Thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So great. And if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up or leave us a comment. And we appreciate you watching. And maybe we will get to see you in the shop sometime. That's the most fun, when we have people like, I watched the podcast and here I am saying hi. Super fun. All right. Happy making, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.